I have Andrea lead us in the pledge.
She moved.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
There's some seats up front. Everyone's shy.
Yeah. Seats up here by Crystal or Mr.
Yes.
Here, I'll move you. We'll give you this row right here.
You can have this
Enjoy
row.
this.
My family takes a whole row.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Andrea, for leading the pledge of allegiance. The next item on the agenda is the adoption of the agenda. Are there any amendments or changes to the agenda?
So I would move that we amend the agenda to include a discussion about visitor features at the football field as a new number 10 and adjournment becomes number 11.
Thank you. It's been moved by Dustin and seconded by Donnie to add new business to our agenda. All those in favor, signify by raising your hand. The motion carries. Next on our agenda are commendations. I think we'll begin with high school.
Absolutely. Good spot. Place to start. I got lots this week. Hey, this month, we're going to start with first is Mr. Vickers. Mr. Vickers, we chose him as Employee of the Month. And I want you to know that generally we don't pick an administrator, but we decided to pick him. Our staff talked about it. He now has a new official title. For a minute, we thought he was the king of Lake Lowell, but we decided now he's the Lord of Lake Lowell. Right? So if you haven't heard the story, right? So this is the kind of guy that he is, and it's not to catch kids and get them in trouble. It's to make sure the kids were safe, right? So we had an unofficial senior skip day, right? And so it's not something our district endorses. By the way, if you're a student or you're a parent and your kid wants to have a skip day, we would love to arrange one for you. Be school sponsored, take you someplace where it's safe. Okay? So if you have a senior as you go through the system and they want to do that, we'd love to do that, right, during the school year. We also have, obviously, the senior trip after graduation, but just know that that's something we'd love to do. Long story short, it didn't happen in this case. They arranged a skip trip, found out that they're at Lake Lowell, right, and so he wandered out there to make sure that everything was safe, right, and so checked in on everybody, reminded them, here's the deal, make sure you're safe. Got a picture with him, took a picture with him, made a nice senior memory for them, right? And so obviously we follow our discipline handbook and it goes through the whole process and there's no hard feelings, it's just to making sure that all our kids are safe, right? So those are the types of things he does. The other things I really appreciate about him every single day, obviously he's my sounding board for lots of different decisions that I get to make, right? And he's not responsible, I am, but it's nice to have his input on how they're going, and every single day there's tasks that I give him that I never have to go back and ever check on, right? And so I really appreciate that. He's been at the high school now for 2 years, was a very exemplary math teacher at the middle school prior to that. And so we just thank him and his family for all their help and support. It doesn't matter, like for example, bringing in salsa, chips, whatever, it's pretty cool, right? So really wonderful human being, and we just wanted to recognize him as Employee of the Month for going well above and beyond what you need to do as a school employee in that role. So thank you very much, Mr. Green. It's really a theme of going above and beyond this month. And so the other one we picked is we picked a group called the Carlton Clan. So if the Carlton family would come up, that would be spectacular. And we're gonna start, obviously, we have Chris, Don. Porter's not here, he's obviously on a mission, right? Courtney, Heidi, Carter, and Oakley, right? And so here's the deal about these guys. There's a lot of really great, wonderful things on here. The thing that I want to point out is that you rarely will go to an event in Nissa where this family's not at, right? And the standing joke is, you know the event's over when the last Carlton's left, right? I'm going to be honest. It doesn't matter what it is, whether it's cleaning up, whether it's setting up, and it doesn't matter if it's a chamber deal, it doesn't matter if it's a Thunder Egg Days, it doesn't matter if it's a middle school concert, it doesn't matter, whatever it is, they're there and they're always helping, right? And they help very willingly. So we're going to read some things here, right? Mr. Spear Carlton's always chipping and making our school better. They do it as a whole family together. They've been doing with that for a long time, and they help countless others along the way. I'll use an example. The other day I was helping It rained prior to one of our softball games. We were mowing. There was grass everywhere. I'm out there with my son and my daughter raking with a rake. It was a community cleanup day. Mr. Carlton drives by because he's down at the, coming down to the school to get, what were you getting? I can't remember what you're getting for community cleanup day. Getting snacks for the people, going and getting snacks for the people that are helping clean stuff up, right? Sees us out there, goes down, says, hey, by the way, we need to come help these guys. And pretty soon I have the whole group with tools, and they're out there helping us done. And that, you know, a job that would take me and my son and my daughter 2 hours, we got done in 45 minutes, right? So just kind of see a need, fill a need, right? So it's really pretty cool. My wife wrote this, so I'm going to read this one. The Carlton is almost behind the scenes in every event that occurs in Nissa, whether it's personal or professional favor. They put countless extra hours and care deeply about our school, other families, supporting things all in Nissa in general. We're lucky to have them in our small town and our schools. We laughed over the years once against the Carltons being the last ones. It's a true meaning of what Bulldog pride is, and we appreciate them. It goes on and on, the same deal, like Mr. Cruikshank, thanking them for all their involvement in the programs. Obviously, ran the 4-H program for a really long time. So guys, it's a full family effort, and we know it takes time. So thank you, and thank you even more for all the things that you guys do, for all the years you've done it. Thank you guys. Our next one's also an above and beyond. Azucena Bahena Gonzalez is our student of the month. If she would come up, we would love to honor her. We're going to talk about her a little bit because there's some things about her. Like, obviously, if you haven't met her, she's a very talkative person, if you know this about her. Not really. But quietly goes about doing everything that all of a sudden you're like, I'm amazed. Like, I watched her, I walked out to welding today, she had a weld, and she was looking at it, cutting apart. If you don't know, one of the things, she's by far probably the best welder Nissa High School's ever produced, according to our welding instructors, right? So, CTE, obviously, athlete, already has an occupation this summer, correct?
Yeah.
Where are you working at?
G&L Welding in Colorado.
Perfect, right? So, very, very, very proficient. Same deal, classroom, works extremely hard. Done some things that stretched this year. For example, went out for her first high school sport, right? Came out for softball this year, right? And the answer is, why did I do it? Well, because Jenny, her friend, said, you should go out. And obviously came, was very like, I'm telling you, the first couple of days, like, man, is this girl going to live? Like, I'm going to be honest, the ball's coming in. I don't know if you'd ever really played softball at all, right? Yeah, she never even caught a ball before, so to do that as a senior is a pretty unique thing, right? The other thing, obviously, in terms of stuff is classwork does really well. One of the things we've also implemented at the high school, and it's probably part of this, it's rolling up the Duolingo program, is the seal of biliteracy. She achieved the seal of biliteracy. If you don't know that, there's a testing process. Go ahead. There's a qualification process. So, for example, if you took your junior English language arts test, right, there's got to be components of that, and then you also end up having to pass. So English, so ELA in both Spanish and English, in speaking, listening, writing, and reading, right, in both of those languages. High-level proficiency in both. So she was awarded that seal of biliteracy. We'll get that certification stuck on her diploma, right? Obviously, it's a big thing. So, in terms of her level of performance as a student in our school, it's pretty exemplary, right? So I'm just going to read what Mr. Esplin said here. One of the most gratifying aspects of teaching is seeing a student grow, gain skills, confidence, and develop as a person. Azucena has been, for me, a highlight of my experience here at Nissa. Azucena has been an absolute pleasure to watch as she's developed her skills and confidence. She is an example to me and other students as she has relentlessly pursued her passion for welding. Welding can be daunting. As a welder, when you have mastered one process, you move on to another. It is as if you're always starting over. Azucena battles each process with a positive attitude and determination to win, and when she is willing to pass the knowledge she has gained on to other peers. As far as I know, she is the most decorated welder to go through the welding program. She's earned many certifications, including pipe welding, and is on track to earn TIG certifications before the end of the school year. What is most impressive about her is her willingness to serve her peers and pass her knowledge to them. She exemplifies what it means to be a Bulldog and to belong to our community here in Nissa. Thank you for your example and dedication to excellence. Congratulations. I do have one more thing. You're good, sis. I got one more thing before we leave, right? So in terms of stuff, VPA is currently at Nationals. They just finished up competing, right? So he might have it in the superintendent report, but I'm going to steal it. Katie Korn obviously comes up and presents to you guys every month. She got second in prepared speaking and third in business law in the nation, which is pretty cool. So give her a round of applause. And most of you have seen the video, production video that went around that the students made about Amalgamated Sugar Company from farm to table, right? So they finished fourth in video production. That was Tyler Young, Oscar Iningas, Brian Sanchez, and Mason Valentine. So pretty good stuff.
Thank you, Mr. Whitaker. We'll now move on to the elementary school, from the oldest to the youngest.
All right. This is Ezekiel Landros. He sneak in. He was one of our third grade students of the month. We will give this award to him another time. Giovanni Robles, he is here. Giovanni Robles, congratulations. Giovanni is a third grader at this elementary school. It is our honor to recognize Giovanni as our district student of the month. Giovanni is a shining example of what it means to be a polite and engaged learner. He is kind to everyone he meets, always ready with an encouraging word or a friendly smile. His gregarious nature brings energy and joy to the classroom, helping to build a sense of community among his peers. Giovanni is also an exemplary, hard-working, and determined student. Whether he's tackling the challenging math problem or diving into new reading assignments, he gives every task his full effort. Giovanni leads by example, showing that a positive attitude and a strong work ethic can make a big difference. We're proud to celebrate Giovanni for his outstanding student and the person he is. He represents the very best of our school. Mrs. Pennington.
And our next student of the month is Bryson Mole. Okay, Bryson has a lot of people who said amazing things about him. I'm just going to read the last few. Bryson has made great gains this year in adapted PE. He can complete tasks on his own, run 2 laps on his own, and is excited to come to PE to try new activities. I am super proud of him, from Mr. Tracy. Bryson has worked very hard this year to be a great student. He is following directions, participating in class, trying new things, even when they're hard. Bryson is kind to other students and is eager to make new friends. I am so proud of all of his progress that he has made, from Mrs. Robb. And the last one is, Bryson is a 3rd grade student this year in Mrs. Lewis's and Ms. Chavez's classrooms. He has shown so much growth in all areas of school, but especially in his ability to self-regulate his emotions and his behavior. He is able to safely transition around the school. He participated in the Christmas program for the first time. He has gone on field trips and attended assemblies with his class. These are all activities that he was not able to regulate himself through in the past. He is learning how to be a successful student and a responsible municipal pup. Bryson is happy, loving, and a caring young man. He has started taking responsibility for his behavior, and he shows compassion to those around him. He wants to do well and has shown a lot of perseverance in trying and doing hard things. He believes that he can do hard things and has pushed himself to improve. Congratulations, Bryson.
Congratulations to all our honorees. If you would like to step, we have, oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Forgive me.
It's okay. Middle child.
You're right, the middle child. Yes, the middle school.
Okay, so this month, Nicholas Conches has been nominated Student of the Month at Nissa Middle School. Okay, so I'm going to read a few of the comments for him. I'm going to read the first one. Nick is a very kind and smart student. He is hardworking, well-mannered, and thoughtful. Students like Nick make teachers' lives and jobs a dream come true. There is not one instance I can think of that Nick has even remotely gotten into trouble. I'm so glad to have him in class, and this award is very well earned, Mr. Sapp.
El maestro Sapp dice de Nicolás. Nicolás es un estudiante amable, inteligente, siempre trabaja duro y es súper ordenado. No hay quien pueda decir o recordar que alguna vez Nicolás se haya metido en problemas. Todo el mundo está feliz de trabajar con él y este reconocimiento es más que merecido. Felicidades, Nicolás.
I have the pleasure of having Nick for 2 periods a day. Nick is a gentle and kind soul. He works very hard in art and always utilizes his advisory period to keep up on all his schoolwork or even read for fun. Nick is kind to his classmates and is always willing to lend a helping hand. My favorite quality of Nick is that he goes out of the way to improve in his art. He asks outside of the box questions and is curious enough to problem solve through hard tasks. I know that Nick is a great kid because he has great parents that care deeply about the man he is becoming. Mrs. Horn.
La maestra Horn dice, es un placer tener a Nicolás. Lo he tenido en las últimas 2 clases al día. Nicolás es una persona amable, amistosa. Nicolás siempre trabaja duro en clase, en la clase de arte y siempre ayuda y apoya a los demás. Él nunca hace preguntas tontas y nunca se queda con dudas y todo le ayuda para resolver los problemas que se pueden enfrentar. Nicolás es un estudiante muy especial gracias a los papás que tiene y ha sido un placer tenerlo en mi clase.
Thank you very much.
Thanks and congratulations to all the honorees. There is the opportunity to have your picture taken out in the hallway. So if you'd like to do that, great. If you'd like to stay for the rest of our meeting, please feel free. We enjoy the audience.
Excuse me, if you don't mind. Andrea, do you want to say that Nicholas got the 2nd place in the Norris Oregon math competition?
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, you did.
That's amazing.
Yeah. You got a 2nd place in the Northeast Oregon competition of math.
We probably have to talk about more trophy cases if we keep going, so just a heads up
Yes.
on that. So just to let you know, congratulations. That's amazing.
We'll now move on to the next item on the agenda, which are visiting patrons and delegations. First item, Mrs. Olson and the 5th grade field trip presentation.
I'm going to have my friends that are coming here to present with me come stand up front with me right here. Just make them scary the whole time. So I brought with me Andrea, and I brought Bryn, and Zayden, and Belinda, and Melina. And they're going to step up and talk to you a little bit about the trip. Here I am again, 1 year later, another trip to tell you about how awesome it was. Ooh, yes, I got the power right over here. I'll run you through the boring stuff first, right? You are, what? Ah, there we go. Not the boring stuff here. It's a little delayed. I'll get the trigger finger right. First of all, this trip cannot happen without our amazing chaperone volunteers, our teachers, and our admins. So I want to take a moment to acknowledge Tab Baker, Kirk Sessions, Michael Pylikin, Carl McD, as I call him because I butcher his name every time, Spencer Fromm, Jessica Beck, Nicole Kinzer, Teresa Martinez, who is back here with us, Morgan De Leon, Diana Garcia, Priscilla Mosqueda Fuentes, and Erica Munoz, who is also here with us. Can I get them a big round of applause? They were an incredible group of chaperones, really engaged and helpful. Thank you to Mr. Pratt and Miss Ashby, who had a baby yesterday. And Miss Hayes, Mr. Nunez, and Miss Fisher for staying back for us. We are an awesome 5th grade team that had an amazing trip. Once again, we were out on the coast right in Newport near the Oregon Coast Aquarium, the OSU Hatfield Marine Center. We had our closed campus to ourselves. We were the only one there. Plenty of space for us to roam about in the state park nearby, get to the beach. We were happy in our accommodations as usual. Yes, early March was a little chilly, but the cabins are heated. So if you need to know that as a future applicant chaperone, the cabins are heated. And the food is great, is it not? It was really good. Somebody was talking about they didn't normally like chicken Alfredo. Andrea usually doesn't, but it was pretty good this time. We had a full day each and every day. We left at 5 a.m. on that Wednesday, and we packed it full of interest groups. And from morning, noon to night, Eco Jeopardy, the OMSI campfires. We went for a full day field study. Belinda's going to tell us a little bit about that one. And of course, our walk on the beach. And then we knew this year was our night hike, which was a huge hit. And then on departure day, we had our interest groups and goodbye, and then we stopped for a pizza party in Pendleton, and we ate a lot of pizza. A lot of pizza. So our interest groups this year, we had Team Challenge, Marine Mammals, Coastal Birds, a full day of wind, water, climate, and then our evening night hike and Eco Jeopardy programs. We're going to go through just a few of those. Andrea's going to start us off by telling us a little bit about the Team Challenge interest group. Each of the groups that they have, the students rotate through so that they experience all of them. This is just one of the 3, and Bryn's going to tell us about another one as well. Take it away, girl.
One thing that we did was like a PE session where we played cooperative games. One thing that we learned was how to switch places on a rope without getting off the rope. And what I enjoyed was having fun and playing.
So this was a new one for us this year where we built a little team time into it. It was super fun, indoors, so a little break from the wind. I'm sure that was appreciated. And then Bryn's going to tell us about marine mammals. We're smiling with the star of the show back here. Take it away.
So when I actually was learning about marine mammals, it was one of my favorite things. And I learned all about how marine mammals stay warm in water, and I got to interact and watch like seals jump in water. Some of the boys in my group had found little crabs, and then everybody was touching them, and it was really cool to interact. So when I got back from all that, I got to take the science SBAC. It's not my favorite, I forgot to say. But I hope I got a good score, but it really helped me, get ready for the state test with science SBAC. So I hope the next generation of 5th graders and the one after that and so on will get this opportunity, because I hope they get to get a good passing score. I hope I got one.
I did not pay for any of this. None of this. Both of us are throwing our hands up. Didn't do it. All her. Thank you. I'm going to make a commercial now.
Can you get her a raise on her allowance?
This was a really cool experience, was it not, y'all? The day that we were going through this interest group for a number of them, we got to go down there, and it was feeding frenzy. They were in the passageway coming into town, and it was just amazing. I've got a few of them on video just singing away to us all through morning, noon, and night. And then Belinda's going to talk to us a little bit about our full day program, Wind, Water, Climate.
One thing we did was we drew a picture of Oregon and the hills on the sand at the beach. One thing we learned was Oregon has many geographic features, which leads to many different climates and weather patterns. What I enjoyed the most about it was we took a beautiful hike during field study.
It was a gorgeous day. It was very helpful to go on this experience again this year. We're finding it to be a really nice culmination of learning for the 5th grade standards about our Earth, our geosphere, our hydrosphere as well. And then of course, a walk on the beach. And I was like, the clouds parted and the rain stopped and the wind was still horrible, but it was beautiful. And it was fun to watch them frolic. We found lots of new specimens and friends to hang out with, build things with. We saw a base jumper flying along the dunes. It was a really fantastic day. And as we came back over here to the evening program, you ready? Melina's going to tell us about that. It was a deep breath, girl. You got this?
My name is Melina, and today I'm going to be telling you guys about what we did on the night hike. One thing that we did was play a fun game called Bat and Moth. One thing that we learned was that bats are blind and they use a thing called echolocation to hear, sort of. And what I enjoyed most about the night hike was playing Bat and Moth and seeing the beautiful sky and the plants under the moonlight.
This was the night of that blood moon in March, so it was a really vibrant night. Great night to be out on a night hike when you're not allowed to have a flashlight. Of course, also this year, you guys don't even know this, but last year I had to do s'mores in an oven. That was quite the feat. We actually got our live campfire this year, so everybody was pretty happy. And then Zayden was back here with us at NES, and he's going to talk to us about their experiences that they had that mirrored the trip. Go ahead, Zayden.
I like to say hello to the school board, Mr. Hawkins, Mr. Murphy, and others here, such as Ms. Cook. And we learned about the harpy eagle, which was very big, like about this big, just in length. And what was his name?
Grayson.
Grayson
the harpy eagle.
Yeah, he was very cool.
Where was he at?
The World Center for Birds and Prey, or Birds of Prey. And one thing we learned was that their talons are very sharp. I got to see it myself. And their beaks are like their main way of attacking, I guess. And I got to help doing the Malheur County Spelling Bee.
They did some volunteering as well while they were back for the county spelling bee, which was very helpful as well. But they also had this day trip while we were away to be able to learn some of the same topics. A big part of our 5th grade curriculum is about life cycles, birds of prey, our example obviously of a predator. So Ms. Fisher took the group up to the World Center of Birds of Prey, one of my favorite places in the area. Thank you, Zayden. So our budget report is that we came in with $10,000 to spare. Woo! Have an idea of what we're going to do with it in the future. I'll tell you about it in a second. But just to break down that we, big picture, stayed under budget quite well. And OMSI's going to be doing some interesting things with how we apply for budgets in the future. They're changing it from a per student head cost to an actual cost line for, say, for example, how much is it costing for your buses, for your camp, instead of just lumping it in. I think we can do some interesting things with that, so does Crystal, and we actually forecasted what it would look like to expand this trip to a 4-day trip, and wanted to see one more year how it looked with a budget like this. And with what we have left over, we would be able to do a 4-day trip. So that is something that we're pondering. We're also continuing to watch the numbers on state testing. We have unofficial results for the entire 5th grade in. We improved 3% overall in our, this is to me the bigger, I love the data. We actually increased our nearly met category and we decreased our not met. So we are pulling away from center and more up. We have a state average right now of 30% in 2 classrooms of teachers sitting in this room who have got above the state average, 36%. Some really strong outcomes based off of last year. So we're chugging away slowly but surely, and I think we're getting down what we need to do to really master that test. So, like I said, 2 things we're thinking about. One is expanding the trip to a 4-day, 3-night. The OMSI facility would like to host us as a sort of hostel rate for that 4th night if we were to cater in our own food. And then it would allow us a half-day trip to Oregon Aquarium and or a tide pool, like actual touch tide pool experience, if the weather and the tide schedules were right. It's a pretty rushed trip for the long drive. OMSI is willing to bend over backwards to have us stay another night and experience more. So that's what we're pondering for years to come. And then also we had a pretty hearty conversation about flipping this trip to the fall instead of the spring. For weather, yes, but also we had some incredible bonding going on this trip and thinking to ourselves, what would be the benefit of bonding with our students earlier in the year? If we are to do this, it's going to take kind of one flip-flop year where Crystal and I pump a grant report out while we're also asking for money again, and then getting the 4th grade on board at the end of the school year. But it might make for me to be a little more organized to plan it over the summer without full-time teaching duties too. So there's lots of plus and minuses. And I think we'll still go spring next year, but it's something that we're beginning to think about. So just want to thank you all again for being supportive of this trip each and every year and letting us hit the road over there. Great experiences. I know the kids were really having once-in-a-lifetime experiences. So thank you. Thank you guys. Fun little artifacts too. These are some of, you're welcome to pick out your favorite drawings. We've got some fake birds we made up, and we also, these are their field journals that they keep, and some of them don't get filled in certain spots because their hands are messy or dirty and we run to the next thing, but each year we get a little more intentional at using this and bringing it back to class. So just wanted to leave that with you all to look at too. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It sounds like an awesome trip. Well, let's move on. We'll move on to the next item.
Thank you, Billy. That's really good. Now I will focus on the grammar.
We'll move on to the next item on the agenda. Rory Bund is going to present on his Eagle Scout project.
Purple share button.
The reason why I wanted to do it, the reason why I wanted to do the Eagle project was so it would look nicer and it would also help the athletes later. Why being Eagle Scout? The reason why I wanted to be an Eagle Scout is that it could help me become a leader and help me get better jobs. Steps I went through, asking permission, talk to the athletic director, admin, school board, the donators was school. Joey donated his time and concrete. uniforms, road mix, and tarps. It's after. And this picture right here. You put chain around the tarp, so it stays there.
Are there any questions?
That's an awesome amount of work.
Thank you very much for doing that for us.
It will really improve that area.
It was ready for the Don Walker, and we were able to use it with a bunch of people, and they enjoyed it. So.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for it. Is there any public comment this evening? Hearing none, we'll move on then to the superintendent's report.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So, good evening, board members and members of the public. As we enter the final month of the school year, which is crazy to say, it is not fast and furious, it's a time filled with both celebration and preparation. Students are wrapping up their academic work. Seniors are preparing to graduate. High school is going around, as you see, not only chasing them to Lake Lowell, but chasing them to make sure they're going to class. And just last week, we had the joy of welcoming some of our incoming kindergarten students for their first school tours and bus ride, which was amazing. It's a great reminder of that full journey our students take through the district. And so as we're kind of helping some into the next phase in their life, we're welcoming others into our system. And what class is it? It's class of
2038.
2038. Welcome there, and it was really fun to kind of see that going. And I love the elementary putting that transition on for those kids, because it's really good. They're able to not only take a tour, they get to eat lunch with us, and their parents get to be in there as well, and then ride that bus. So anyway, we're currently in the middle of completing both state and local assessments, and while we're seeing growth in key areas, as you saw, one of them was math and a couple, science in our 5th grade. We're also identifying areas that will become our focus for continuous improvement in the upcoming school year as well. So kind of in that, all these things are coming to fruition right now. And so, as usual, I'd like to actually invite Mr. Murray to provide a federal programs update with particular emphasis on Title I-C and our cyclical monitoring cycle right now for the year.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Doty. Good evening, everybody. Yes, ODE and OMS will be here this week, beginning tomorrow. OMS, which is the teaching and administration arm of the Title I-C of the migrant program, will be here tomorrow to train with our family engagement specialist and also our recruiter. And then they'll stay on tomorrow night for our PAC meeting, which begins at 6 o'clock here in the boardroom. You're invited to attend if you'd like. And during that time, the recruiting specialist from OMS will be making a presentation to the parents, talking about the eligibility requirements, kind of reviewing those for the migrant program. Then on Wednesday, ODE comes for the federal programs monitoring. It's the culmination of their monitoring. They've been doing that throughout the course of the year through a desk process and also through Zoom meetings. And then on Wednesday, they're here in person to finish that up, meeting with the different entities who have been part of the monitoring process. And these are all the federal programs other than migrant. So all the other federal programs that we receive money from, about 5 different federal programs there. And then on Thursday, the 1C people will be coming, the ODE 1C people, that's the migrant people, to talk to two of our specialists, our graduation specialists and our early childhood specialists. Wednesday afternoon at 2:30, I should have said that when I was in there, but that's the culmination of the ODE visit, so you're welcome to attend that when they're kind of finalizing and providing their report from 2:30 to 3 here in the boardroom.
Matt, the meeting starts at 5:45 tomorrow.
Yes.
That's it.
Just kind of dinner,
Okay.
officially at 6. Yeah. And that's it.
Perfect. Thank you, Mr. Murray. I appreciate the update on the important things. I'd also like to share some exciting updates on several major construction projects happening across the district this summer. This is kind of, there is a lot going on. And so the turf project is officially underway. Site surveys have been completed and we are finalizing the design right now, which you guys saw earlier in our study session. We remain on schedule to have the field ready by our first home game in the fall. And just a quick note, remember that during the summer that track will be closed because there will be equipment out there and just dirt and all those kind of things, and so that will be closed as well. The elementary playground is set to break ground at the end of this month, so really like the last day students are here, they're going to be in right the next day, so it'll actually be June 1st. And it actually is expected to be completed well before school starts. So everything is on track, everything's ordered, we're looking pretty damn good on that project. And then we're preparing to ask for bids for the new family restroom, so we have the design, we have all that ready to go. They will be worked on this summer, so we're getting bids right now on that family restroom at the high school. I remember we talked about it last August, and so it's already budgeted and everything is, we're set to go, engineered ready. So, and we're working on, working with an engineer on plans to remodel our high school, and then actually they should be in here, I want to say this week, to walk around with our science teachers and get their kind of their what's that they would like to see, and so the science rooms we look to remodel this summer as well. So we're looking to get bids on that. Additional bids are being requested as well for the middle school parking lot, and our reader boards. It looks like they're going to be in and going really soon. On the 19th, they should be here. They said last Friday. I guaranteed that it's going to be here, and then so those should be going really, really soon. So if anybody was wondering on that, like, hey, what's going on out there, that's it. And later tonight, I'm also going to, we talked about it in the study session, but we're going to go over those bids for bleachers for the visitor site that we discussed and approved back in December with the turf stuff. This is just the actual bid on it, because we didn't bid on the actual price then. So anyway, we'll be going that as well. And we're on the preliminary work of lighting improvements as well out there. So it'll be the complete overhaul of the outside sports facility. And as always, graduation season is a special time for school district, right? I mean, you kind of see these kiddos are going to kindergarten, second grade, all the way up, and we get to shake their hand here in a couple weeks, which is an amazing feeling. It's really a moment to honor our students' achievements and reflect on the hard work of our staff and community. And at the same time, we're fully engaged in preparing for the possibilities and opportunities for the next school year. And so I just want to tell everybody just thank you for your continued work this year. And I mean, I love graduation. It's just all of that and kind of that one handshake, that one moment. It's, 13 years of you guys late nights and that. And so I just want to tell you thank you, and I look forward to seeing you guys next at graduation. So that's it. Thank you very much.
Any questions for Ryan?
Ryan?
Yeah.
On the middle school, so the road you turn on to go to the parking lot, is that city or is that school property?
It is city until, oh gosh, so right where it is, you can kind of see where, where the native garden is right there, then that's when it becomes ours right there. So, and when we did our original bid, it was to only do half of it because of the drainage. But then what happens, right, when you're kind of doing one half and the other half, and you have that seam, and then it just becomes, so what we're going to do is, our plan is, so next summer is we're going to actually look to, we want to get it all done at one time. So
has there been any conversation with the city about taking care of that road? And
the first part in there,
we're doing,
yeah.
It might be a good time to do it all at once and accrue a lot of people coming in.
And it might be a money saver as well for them.
Right.
So, yeah. So that's something we can talk to the city about. So very good feedback. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other comments for Ryan? Questions?
So the 19th is when they're supposed to install the signs?
That's what they said. So, and that's all I'll say about that in my report. Thank you. Strategically done. We talked to him today. So
it'll be done by next fall with the turf.
We didn't know it was going to be a race, but apparently.
We've only got like 2 weeks of athletics left, unless they make state stuff. So we're good, man.
Yeah, that's
like
exactly.
3 weeks.
Yeah. Then after so hopefully we can maybe
do whatever they want after 3
years.
years.
But anyway, no.
Thank you. We'll now move on to the financial report. Crystal.
First, I just wanted to start by thanking everyone that came to the budget meeting. I thought it was a good meeting. I tried to shorten it as much as I could. I think we ended at an hour and 40-ish minutes, so appreciate everyone's time. It's a lot of work, so it's nice to get it done. With that said, it'll be posted. Oregon budget law requires me to post it to the public, and then we'll have an official budget hearing at next month's regular board meeting, where I will ask for the board to adopt it. So that's coming. But tonight, I just have financials to present to you for the month of April. Best news of the year is we received our adjusted state school fund, so you will see that in our revenue line, and that has bumped up our cumulative balance for the year. So we're sitting a little over $5 million. We'll have one more state school fund payment the month of May. We won't receive any funding the month of June from the state school fund. Do our budgeted transfers, and then I will be able to present financials for the whole fiscal year. Our auditors have been scheduled. They'll be in the office on July 14th, I believe, that week. Spend about 4 days with us, so that's exciting. But no surprising expenditures for the month of April. We ran just a normal payroll. Nothing to really report on. It was a basic month. Our middle school bond account, we have a debt payment coming up of a little over $379,000. We currently have in that account a little over $413,000, so we have enough money to make our debt service payment that I will do. I'll make that payment at the end of this month and then report that to you next month. Food service. At the end of April, we've brought in a little over $812,000 in revenue. Our expenditures have exceeded over $853,000, so that ending fund balance is just approaching $41,000 in the red. Approval of the bills. This is just the report I show you every month. Everything the district has spent from April 4th to April 30th. And then finally, the end of the last report I always provide is our payroll report for the month of April. That's all I really have. Simple month.
Any questions for Crystal? Crystal, I have to comment and compliment you on the budget meeting. It was very well done.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're pretty good at it. Very good job. Thank you.
Yes.
All right, thanks, guys.
We'll now move on to the consent agenda. Are there any concerns or questions about items A, B, C, or D on the consent agenda? Do I hear a motion?
I move to present.
It's okay, it's
Long bit. I move to approve all of the actions contemplated by the consent agenda.
I'll second.
It's been moved by Dustin and seconded by Donnie to accept the consent agenda as provided. All those in favor signify by raising your hand. Motion carries. We'll now move on to item 9, the new item 9, which is new business.
Thank you, and I mentioned this in my report, and obviously study session with it as well. And so I'm going to present 2 bids for replacement of the visitor bleachers out there. As we know that not only gets us in ADA compliance, but also ensures that safety is done when we're over there. So the 2 bids, one from Recreation Today, the other from NORPAC. I'd like to recommend that the board approve Recreation Today. What they're offering not only price-wise is better, but also and the bleachers that we're putting out there, ADA compliant, will match the exact bleachers that we have now. And so it won't be any longer, and so it'll fit in the same footprint. And so we're just going to try to do a kind of a like
I didn't notice they had, if they said anything about a warranty, if anything breaks or something.
That's not something I looked into. I bet you they probably do, but that would be something that I could get to the board as well.
No,
So-
all warranties are disclaimed.
Oh.
So, yeah, on page, well, it says, it's page 1 of the quote itself, but if you look at the 5th bullet point, they disclaim all warranties expressed or implied.
There's no warranty on that.
It's even on the last page, number 9. Oh, it says 12 months after the buy.
They got a problem in their paperwork.
Yeah, contradicts itself.
Yeah, cause, I mean, I can understand them disclaiming all implied warranties, but express warranties would include warranties they expressly give, so that probably should be fixed before we do sign.
So, yeah, before we do sign it, I will go through that and present it to you guys and make sure that I'm not only running through our legal department as well, but just to let you guys know, I will create that specific thing.
So since this is a 30-day, what if we just approve it with that 5th bullet point being stricken? And that way, if they do strike it, then we'd be authorized to go ahead and sign, and we wouldn't have to bring it back a month from now with the whole report.
So, okay, I'm good with that. If you guys are good, motion to do that, and then I will go forth and execute. So.
Do I hear a motion on however, whatever you say?
I make a motion that we approve Recreation Today striking the warranty bullet.
Yeah, for point number 5.
Point number 5.
Also.
It's been moved by Susan and seconded by Donnie to accept the Recreation Today bid with that one qualification of bullet point number 5. All those in favor, signify by raising your hand. Motion carries. Okay, the last, oh my goodness, it's my turn. The board report. I would like to remind all our board members that there is an OSBA board training on the 22nd at 6 o'clock. With the possibility of a 5:30 executive session for that meeting. The board training is the rural scholarship that we applied for and received. We're going to use it to help us help the board better work with the priorities, the district priorities that have been worked on and set into motion or are going to be set into motion. The next thing is a work session meeting on June 2nd at 6 p.m. Graduation is May 25th at 1 o'clock. Please, board members, arrive at the gymnasium by 12:40. And then the last is a note, particularly from Megan, to remind us that our regular board meetings during the months of June, July, and August will start at 6 o'clock. Are there any other items to be discussed or added to the agenda this evening? Talk about? In that case, thank you.